guy's a horrible person. He's horrible. Life is just as bad. She's a mean girl. She's a bully. She's a bad person. She's a disgrace. Karl, why didn't you wear your ass in straps today? What a loser! What a loser! Loser! What a loser!
This is a video posted shortly after Kearney visited homes of witnesses. This is not my last trip to Canton. I will be back. I'll be back. Get used to this. You guys should just stop going in public. It's only going to get worse from here.
Come on, why can't you say who you are? You know we can find out, right? Shame on you! Shame on you!
You have it on tape, you murderer!
Chris, are you at all worried about your son going to jail? Are you? What about your brother? You did kill a man, right? You really have a crucifix? How are you gonna have a crucifix if you're going to hell? Who are you? You here to enable murderers? You're staring at me the whole time. You want to make out with me or something? What are you looking at me for, sir? Who are you? Who are you related to? Who are you, Grandpa?
During the broadcast, Kearney displayed phone records of Jennifer McCabe from the day O'Keefe was killed. The records displayed names to the phone number. As a result of the cell phone number being broadcasted, Trooper Proctor began to receive random and harassing text messages and voicemails.
But prosecutors say Kearney has gone beyond reporting and has been harassing and intimidating a state police investigator, that investigator's wife, as well as several witnesses in the Reed case.
Turtleboy was just arrested. Sucks to suck, bro. And the real kicker here is he's been saying that the feds are investigating. Indictments are coming. The whole time they were investigating him.
Color me shocked, ladies and gentlemen. A true crime streamer called Turtleboy has been arrested for harassment and witness intimidation. And conspiracy is another interesting charge there. Now, I'm going to say this right up front here, that even though this arrest is in relation to a murder case, whether the murder suspect is guilty or not, Turtleboy's behavior surrounding the case has been absolutely unconscionable, and no side of any murder case should support or encourage this behavior, even if he's representing the innocent party. This is the part in the video where Turtleboy fans and supporters, or just ignorant people, or both, start screaming, "Free speech! Free speech is being attacked! She's not guilty, so he's doing it for a good cause." I'm going to stop you right there in your tracks to say this. You are wrong. It is never, ever okay to intimidate and harass crime witnesses. It is obstruction of justice by people who claim to be seeking justice. They think that if they do it on YouTube, and since YouTube allows it, it must be okay. But YouTube is not the government, it's a business. And illegal things happen on this platform every hour of every day. YouTube's action or lack of action does not determine whether it's free speech or whether it's against the law or whether you should be arrested in front of your kids. Now, if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, a woman in Massachusetts named Karen Reed is the primary suspect in the murder of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. It's a very polarizing case. The victim was a police officer, and conspiracists on YouTube and in their community insist he was actually killed by his law enforcement colleagues or someone who is being protected by them, and that it's an entire frame and cover-up. They claim that Karen Reed is an innocent woman who is being framed by this corrupt police department. So anything this police department does from here on out will be framed by her defenders as a conspiracy. And so this Turtleboy arrest is now, of course, being made part of the conspiracy. Now, I know there's a large army of believers in Karen Reed's innocence. I'm withholding my opinion on her guilt or innocence until there's an actual trial. So none of that matters to me, because this isn't about whether Karen Reed has been wrongfully charged. It's about how a YouTuber advocating for Karen Reed has possibly obstructed justice in her case by openly getting paid on YouTube to intimidate witnesses. If Karen Reed has a great defense team, Turtleboy just literally took a dump all over it with his bullshit, with his YouTube-funded antics. Even if you think Karen Reed is innocent, do you think this arrest will help her case? Now, I don't know what their connection is. If they are connected, and she has allowed all of this, that does not look good for her. Now, this is the point in most true crime related videos where I'd go into more details about the actual facts of the case and the claims that are being made by each side. But the entire point of this video is to point out that no set of arguments on either side justifies any sort of harassment or witness intimidation. Here's an example of the behavior that got Turtleboy arrested. If you're okay with the behavior I'm about to show you, you need to get your radar checked. Just a suggestion.
You did kill a man, right?
You gonna kill me?
Folks, we
You
can
gonna
let him
kill
out.
me? You gonna kill me?
Ma'am, can you let him out?
Chris Albert killed a man. How you gonna have a crucifix if you're going to hell? How you gonna have a crucifix if you're going to hell?
Hey,
Chris, you've hit enough people with your car. You've hit enough people with your car, Chris. Who are you? You here to enable murderers? You're staring at me the whole time. You want to make out with me or something? What are you looking at me for, sir? Who are you? Who are you related to? Who are you, Grandpa? What's your name, Grandpa?
You're a goddamn disgrace. Are you a glutton for punishment, Karl? It's gonna be like this, Ed. Oh, she's taping us. She's taping us.
You guys should just stop going in public. It's only going to get worse from here. I know where you all were today. You were in Agawam, weren't you? You guys were at some sort of Little League thing in Agawam. You can't hide anymore. Your private life is officially over. You leave your house, you're going to have your picture taken, so you need to get used to the new normal, your new normal. During the broadcast, Kearney displayed phone records of Jennifer McCabe from the day O'Keefe was killed. The records displayed names to the phone number, displayed names next to the phone number, which appeared to be the user of the other phone. These records had previously been an attachment to an unredacted defense motion filed in Commonwealth versus Reed. So now I have your number. I'm going to plug you in and we'll talk soon. Essentially, broadcasting the trooper's number to his turtle followers, if you will, seemingly with the intent to have them also harass him. As a result of the cell phone number being broadcasted, Trooper Proctor began to receive random and harassing text messages and voicemails. In the 12 hours following Kearney's calls, Trooper Proctor received approximately a dozen text messages, phone calls, and voicemails. On September 25th, 2023, at 8:04 p.m., an X account, formerly Twitter, associated with Kearney, posted this message and photograph. The postage depicts the front of 6 Wentworth Road in Canton, home of Michael and Elizabeth Proctor. The white Jeep Wrangler in the photo belongs to Jennifer McCabe.
They say he has been calling them, following them, and revealing private information about them and their families. And they say he's been telling tens of thousands of his followers on social media to do the same.
I've reviewed a lot of Turtleboy's conduct and his content. He is not just asking questions. He is threatening, doxing, getting in people's faces, following them around, contacting them privately, intimidating them publicly humiliating them, and that is not asking questions. Intimidating people privately and publicly is not investigative journalism as much as he wants to call himself an investigative journalist, an award-winning investigative journalist. Some would call Turtleboy's actions terroristic, and I would agree. There's absolutely no justification for taking out terrorist action on anyone, regardless of why, in the purest form of our criminal justice system. Doesn't it tell you something when someone who is arrested for their behaviors to make money on YouTube is still an active monetized channel on YouTube? Isn't that proof enough that YouTube is a business entity that has a different set of its own rules? Where you can make money on YouTube doing things that will get you arrested in real life? Do not use YouTube's willingness to carry that horrible speech as an indication that it's okay. YouTube is a business, and saying horrible things about other people and groups is, unfortunately and tragically, their bread and butter. To take this a step further, since YouTube is so notoriously awful at enforcing its own rules on its own platform, and since YouTube escalates the fever pitch of content for its own monetary gain, YouTube's inaction creates these scenarios where people like Turtleboy think they can get away with anything in real life as long as someone is watching them on YouTube. Disabuse yourself of that notion right now. If you do illegal stuff in plain sight, it will get noticed by law enforcement, and you could face criminal charges even if YouTube still pays you for the very thing that got you locked up. to pile shock upon shock. I could not believe what I heard Turtleboy's defense attorney say in court.
The internet allows for that. I'm sure that, or I would hope, that if any of these statements would have violated YouTube policy, they could have contacted that and had it all taken down.
Did you hear that? He actually made YouTube the standard bearer for legal behavior in real life. That's why everyone is so confused. That's not how it is, bro. We've come to a place of such abject ignorance that a defense attorney in defense of Turtleboy cited that YouTube sets the legal standard for right and wrong. No. Sorry, folks. YouTube profits off of people who break laws every day in plain sight. So they're over there saying, yo, well, law enforcement hasn't stepped in, so ain't nothing we can do. And this behavior falls into the gaping hole between the judicial system and social media's regulations. They are so far apart in the United States that this gaping hole eventualizes into an overcrowded train of vexatious litigation under the belief that YouTube allowed it, so it must be okay. I want to know how long we content creators and users are supposed to sit in this hellish purgatory between the internet's greed and our civil protection under the laws of the land. These are the types of true crimers that completely disgrace the name of true crime on YouTube. It's a smite on our entire community to watch people openly intimidate true crime witnesses and get away with it on YouTube because they're popular or get a lot of views. I would hope that you don't have a problem with law enforcement enforcing the law. We're in true crime, so please tell me you agree that laws are meant to be enforced, even when it's against your most favorite YouTuber. Now, whether Turtleboy is right or wrong about being targeted by the police because of what he's done on YouTube, his arrest should make any true crime streamer shit their pants, especially if they are an intentional shit stirrer. And no, despite what some of his cheerleader enabling channels say, he was not just peacefully protesting. YouTube is not the standard for how to treat people. Our moral compass should not be swayed by whether YouTube allows it. If you base your moral compass on whether it was done on social media or whether someone has a big following, well, then there isn't very long-term hope for our entire species, okay? Now look, I get it. Social media is a whole new world that masquerades as the real world, which it's not. A lot of new content creators make innocent errors on social media, and many people learn from them. Other people continue to do it intentionally to hurt people because there's little chance that they'll get penalized on social media. In fact, there's a good chance they'll get paid more by YouTube if they do and say bad things. So they're incentivized to behave this way. But a lot of people don't understand the boundaries, and the boundaries are different online than in real life. If anything, this Turtleboy situation is a big wake-up call. It should be a wake-up call for people who think that they could get away with doing the same things he does. And it's a big wake-up call to show that there is a stark difference between the rules on YouTube and the rules in real life. While the government can't kick you off of YouTube for doing things in real life, YouTube can certainly kick you off of YouTube for doing illegal things in real life. And eventually they sometimes do, like with 8 passengers. But we can't count on that. YouTube is not the standard bearer for moral or legal behavior. Stop using that as a crutch.
The whole time they were investigating him.
Not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Starting a conspiracy, harassing witnesses, yada, yada, yada. Karen Reed's show is canceled indefinitely.
Peace out.